Warpugs. So, when I think mopeds, I think three things. Number one, I never want to ride on that. Number two, oh my god, what happens if somebody hits you on that? And number three, somebody got a DUI. And if you're from the types of places that I've been in, that's called the DUI mobile in most cases. Warpugs, I have never thought to mount an RPG to the front of the thing. I just haven't. I'm not sure quite what to think about this. I'm not sure quite what to make of it. I'm not sure exactly what we should do about it, but I am sure it's hilarious to look at. Warpugs, this is brought to us by the Fat Electrician, who sometimes just drops something on her head that, frankly, I didn't know about, and to be honest with you, I probably would have been better off not knowing. But this is just one of those funny weapons that doesn't make any sense. All the links for Fat Electrician are going to be back down in the description below. I will learn how to talk English at some point in the near future. Let's just jump right into it, okay? This was requested by Mokoto5 in the Discord. Let's go.
Today we're talking about the deadliest moped of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, France's Vespa 150 Tap, aka the Bazooka Vespa. This is a French design. It's not even American. But I'm going to do a video on it anyways because game recognized game. I mean, look at the quality of grunts and crafts they got going on over there. I'm not even sure where to start. First of all, despite the name, that's not actually a bazooka. That's a 75mm anti-tank recoilless rifle.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you ever heard of Uber Eats? This is Uber Retreats. They literally just slapped an anti-tank cannon onto a moped and called it good. I mean, the dude driving the thing literally has to sit on top of the barrel, which I think might actually make this the world's first crotch rocket. I'm not really sure. But there's one thing I am sure of, and that's this thing is definitely in the running for the weirdest military motorcycle of all time. I mean, it's got to be between this and the Kettenrad, that time during World War II and the...
Why would you ever install that piece of garbage? Why would you ever think that that was a good idea? Can anybody tell me why they thought this thing was a good idea?
The Germans wanted to make a half tank, half motorcycle. You know, for all those situations where you've thought to yourself, man, I wish I had a vehicle that had all the mobility of a tank and all the safety features of a motorcycle. What a great idea. Dumb. I mean, let's be honest, the only reason they ever built that was to show off their engineering prowess. And I will give it to them, the Germans can engineer just about anything, except for a World War win.
Ooh.
This video's getting demonetized.
Just jam it in there.
So, this video is brought to you by Aventon e-bikes. I personally have their adventure mountain bike and it's way more fun than I ever thought it would be. It can go 45 miles on a single charge and it can get up to 28 miles an hour without me even having to pedal. I'm trying to tell you it's all the childhood fun of riding a bike with none of the exercise, and I still get to let the Amish people know that me and Nicola are homeboys, which is priceless. So if you're ever in the market for an e-bike, I would recommend Aventon. I'll have them linked in the description down below.
Nice.
Anyways, back to this monstrosity.
Yes.
One word comes to mind. Why? Why is this a thing? Well,
this is why I ask myself. This is what I ask myself on so many things that I see on a day-to-day basis. Warpugs, you guys just don't even have a clue. It's either this or cry hysterically.
Like every great Grunts and Crafts project, there were failures that needed to be addressed. And as a wise man would say, failure is a pathway to innovation, which is a politically correct way of me trying to tell you that France got their fucking ass beat by tanks in World War II, and this was their solution. Yep. Now, if you don't know, France has had one of the most dominant military histories of all time. And despite...
Which really so everybody that starts talking, I talk trash about France, everybody talk trash about France, but for about 1,000 years, if not a little bit longer, you did not want to be on France's bad side because France would quickly turn half your family into t-shirts. It would be bad.
Despite what a lot of people think or say, France actually had a very, very powerful military during World War II. But what had happened was France was doing the normal, logical, conventional thing at the time by putting all their men evenly along their entire border. And Germany decided to use a new tactic known as the Blitzkrieg, which is basically they utilize their entire force to punch through the enemy line in one small spot and then just trailblaze a path all the way to the enemy objectives. Here's an animation of what that looks like to give you a better idea. This immediately put the French on their heels and they were never able to actually recover during World War War II, and this is why they ended up surrendering in only like 6 weeks. And because of surrendering in only 6 weeks, this is where all the jokes come from about like France retreating all the time. You know, like, oh, French tanks have 16 gears, 15 in reverse, and only 1 forward, you know, in case the enemy ambushes them from behind. That's where those jokes come from. And as I'm sure you all know, the Allied forces won World War II and France was restored. Then in like the 1950s, their military leadership decided, hey, we should probably have a plan in case this ever happens again. Well, the problem with the Blitzkrieg attack is you don't actually know where it's going to take place. Right. So the only way that you could really counter it is to have a very mobile, very fast responding anti-tank force. So they came up with the Bazooka Vespa and gave it to their paratrooper units. Yeah, the paratroopers were literally going to yeet the Vespas out the back of the plane and then yeet themselves out the back of the plane. And then as soon as they landed semi-close to the battlefield, they'd hop on their Vespas, find where the enemy tanks were, and just start yeeting the spicy baguettes at them. I'm just going to level with you. I love it. I think it's
I'm a fan.
A genius idea. Because post-World War II, there was a metric fuck ton of recoilless rifles and ammunition left over, and France had their own factories for manufacturing Vespas, and they were relatively cheap. I mean, this entire setup only cost them $500 at the time. To put that into perspective, a German Tiger tank during World War II cost $300,000. So if you got the chance to take out a $300,000 tank with a $500 Vespa, that's worth it.
Yep.
And it's fucking demoralizing. I mean, let's be honest. In conclusion, at this point in time, I think I've got to give the coolest / weirdest military motorcycle of all time title to the French. And if you could think of something cooler / weirder than this, let me know in the comments down below and I'll look into it. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
Okay, so let's talk. First off, that's absurd. Secondly, if you're going to design something for cheap, I mean, modern problems require modern solutions, yes, but he's not wrong about the cost there. If you could take a $500 Vespa with a recoilless rifle shoved into the middle of it and use it to take out a Tiger, I mean, who's laughing now? Who's really laughing now? There's really no point to it at that point. A Vespa with a recoilless rifle on it. That is probably in the top 10 of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. Because it would... The weird thing about it would be, it would actually work. It would actually work as long as you weren't trying to take the thing off-road. If you were doing urban warfare, that thing would be a nightmare. That thing would be an utter nightmare. All you need to do is just send somebody... I just wonder... Could you fire it on the run? What would it do to the Vespa? Would it flip it upside down? Would it throw it halfway down the street? I don't know. No idea. I'm an idiot. Everybody knows this. What would this... Luckily, the Cold War never kicked off, and we never got to find out if Vespa created the monster that would take down the Soviet armored push. Warpost, the Fat Electrician, once again gives us too much at this point, too much. I'm gonna head out from here. Guys, be sure to leave a comment down below, hit the like button, check below for Patreon, join the channel as a member, and I'll catch you guys next time. When we're talking a Vespa with an anti-tank gun on it. I think I'm done.